hello. Welcome to Ask Alma. Where y'all at? Comment, let me know, because I got to see my peoples. How y'all doing? Remember last week? I didn't really know where I was and I was all mixed up and everything. I'm good. Took my B12. Danielle, how are you?
Hey,
I
Danielle.
took my B12. I know where I am. I even took a vitamin D because I ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? I am so happy to be here. Welcome to Ask Alma. I have been waiting to talk to y'all all week. It's been kind of dreary. Mary Lords, how are you, Diva? What's going on? I hope it's sunny where you are. It is not sunny where I am. And I'm sort of like a weather person. Like when the sun comes out, I'm good. When it's gray, I'm a little gray too. That's all I'm saying. Rainy, don't call me. But anyway, hello. Welcome to Ask Alma. I am your host, Alma. Alma Gill. Nice to meet you. Nice to greet you. Today, cuz I've been waiting on you. That's why I've been kind of, talking, waiting for you to log on. What's up, cuz? And don't be texting me at the same time. I can't read your thing on my phone and on the, that's too much. So anyway, this is Niece's Night, everybody, on Ask Alma. This is Niece's Night. Hi, Carol. How you doing? Tonight on Niece's Night, hold on, let me do a disclaimer first before I get all excited about Niece's Night. The disclaimer is we are a fun, advice, entertaining show. If you got some issues, like with your husband, with your kids, with your in-laws, with your own mama, you might want to talk to a professional. Otherwise, we can give you some common sense answers to work that right on out. Okay, there you go with that. Thank you again for everybody logging on this evening. I'm here with my best friend Dee Dee, and the rest of the panel. How y'all doing? How
What's up, everybody?
Hi, Sheikah.
I want to shout out to Gail.
Hey,
Gail. Hey, Danielle. And Carol.
And a shout out to Angela, who will be joining us. Hi, Rosie. That's my sister-in-law. I didn't email everybody in the family, y'all. I didn't email everybody in the family. We should have a lot of people watching tonight. We're going to have a family reunion right on Ask Out. Angela will join us. She's in Seattle. We've got LaTanya, who is here, joining us from Michigan. And we got Sheikah joining us from California.
Yay!
We all over the place. Bessie, we all over the place. Gill's family's all over the place. My family, who's watching, we all in Alexandria. I moved far away when I moved to Maryland, which was an hour. So that's what we doing in my family. Dee Dee, your family is in
Jersey, mostly in Jersey.
Right.
Close enough.
Your mama. Yeah, yes, that's true.
Close enough to visit, but far enough away to have to call first.
Right. Call me.
There'll be no dropping in. Right, exactly.
Ain't gonna be no drop in. As a matter of fact, where we live, I gotta buzz you in. So if I don't like you, you ain't getting in.
Well, actually, this may be the closest we've lived to each other in decades.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. You and I have always been in one state or the other. Shout out nieces to Aster, who couldn't join us, but she too is one of our fabulous nieces. And she cracked me up when she was I can't remember how old she was, but she was like, because I was like, hey, Aster, because you're my favorite. She was like, I think you tell all of us that.
Wait a second. Hold on, Auntie.
That's what you tell me. I know it's so funny. That's how young people are growing up when they start holding you accountable.
Yeah.
It's like Ava, my granddaughter, you guys know, is 7 years old. So this week we were having a loving moment. And I said, Ava, when you buy a house, can grandma and grandpa come live with you? And she said, no, I don't think that's how it works. Like, dang, we're going to be out alone. We ain't getting no love. Like, we can't live with you. She was like, no, But ask my
kids
dad.
don't have no filter.
No, they don't.
You're gonna
No
get love.
filter.
You're just not gonna get a room in her house.
No. She was like, ask my dad. Maybe you and grandpa can live with my parents. Okay, girl, because evidently we ain't living with you. But she did say, I'll have family parties and sleepovers, but you can't live with me. That's
Okay,
a
that's not
7-year-old. I know, right?
We can take
like,
notes
They
from her.
are so funny.
Right. Speaking of, LaTanya, you have how many kids?
2.
Names and
9,
ages.
Adonis, 9 years old, and Ethan, 1 year.
You forgot. Oh, girl, you forgot.
Hey, Darlena.
Darlena, hey. Sheikah, how many do you have in ages?
Okay, I have 2 biological children and 3 stepkids. So in ages,
Yay.
my oldest is 26, 24, 17, 15 actually next week, and then 5.
Wow. And 5.
15 and 5.
Yeah, y'all forgot it. Right.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
Bernard
waited.
commented. You guys see Bernard is in the house.
No, hey,
Charlotte.
Hey, cuz. Hey, auntie.
Hi, Auntie.
This is gonna be fun. So so D, you and I only had 1 kid.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't forget.
Well, I was old, so
Me too.
It was I couldn't squeeze that many in that little small window.
Me
But
either.
LaTanya, my brother and I are 8 years apart, and it seems like 100 years when they're small, but as they get older, they'll get so much closer, and it won't feel like that they're far apart. So
yeah,
there's
that's
hope.
true.
It wasn't
Right.
it
That's
wasn't
true.
by choice. It just kind of happened that way, the way the Adonis is. So we waited just a little bit longer to give him a little bit more attention because he needed more attention. He was 2 years old.
Yes. It's wonderful though, because I think too, with the separation, you get time with each one. Like you don't have to double up with a particular kind of special time because it's time in between, so you can spend time with each one, and that part is really good. I wanted more kids. Yeah, I wanted more. I just had 1. So I collected everybody else's kids because if y'all know me, I was telling y'all kids what to do too because that's just how I am. But
you were gifted Ava, so
I was. And one thing, my sister Kim, it was 7 years between the 2 of us, and when she passed away, I was so sad, obviously. And then I met and married Gill, who had 5 sisters. Like I can remember praying to God, oh, I miss my sister so much, and this is just going to be heartbreaking. I don't know what I'm going to do. And it's like God has a way of figuring out everything for you, and you don't even know it. Because then I marry a man, 5 sisters. I got enough sisters to give one away. Although I ain't giving none away, but I'm just saying. And nieces. And then I ended up with extra bonuses. Nieces is a wonderful thing. And everybody embraced me like from day one. Now that D, that's not usually how people can handle me. But they were like, come on in here, girl, you fine. Come on.
They assumed that if Gill brought you home, you had to be good people. So
or crazy. They were like, is she insane?
I didn't want to say that.
Right. Is she insane with this one?
Gail is commenting that about she only had 1 because she was 10 pounds, and that was it for her.
No way.
Kelly was 10 pounds?
10 pounds.
Oh my gosh. That'd be
a factory closed.
That would. And this one says, and your number 6 sister. Oh, sweet. That's so sweet. So I was hoping that Angela. Is that your mama? I hope so. I was hoping that Angela would be on here in time for question number 1, but she has not logged in yet, so I'm sure she will be catching up. Although I did want to show y'all this. Can y'all see this? Sheikah, your mama sent me this. It's the cup with Harry and Meghan. Because y'all know I'm into the Royals. I'm into the
yeah.
Royals. I was until that interview with Oprah, but all I'm saying
Yeah, that
is
changed things, huh?
it did. Like, I always wanted to be all up in there, but now, no, that's all right. As a
I
matter of
remember when
fact,
Princess Diana died, how, you were inconsolable. Like, I thought
oh
we
my
were going to
God.
have to.
Yes, I cried all
Yeah.
day. It was so funny. Joshua came up to me. He was like, Mommy, I'm so sorry about your friend.
Hmm.
And then I thought, dang, I don't think I ever met her. But y'all, I was crying like we lived across the street from each other. I'm telling you, I was so heartbroken. But I have always, this is funny, this is another God thing. I've always questioned God. Why couldn't I be the princess in the castle? We the same age. What's up? Why couldn't you drop me over there and drop her over here with my mama?
Because
And the
he had
other
different
person
plans
was
for you.
Well,
had
because
different
look
plans.
how they treat them. That's why you couldn't be
Girl,
princess.
we would have
No,
changed stuff if I was in
absolutely
there.
not.
I would
They were like,
if I could have grown up in my neighborhood and then showed up at the castle, oh, we would have made some changes.
they would have said, "Well, who moved this furniture?
Right? Who is
Why
this?
is this throne in another room? What happened?"
She
So
going
you
out,
all
she ain't got no crown. She ain't got no crown. She got cornrows. What is she doing? Be like, don't try it. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. So, okay, ladies. You know how this works. Ask Alma. We show you 3 video questions and then we talk about them. So the first one coming up is from a really dear person. I won't say any names before they come up, but it was somebody who wanted to see if they could be a part of the family program today.
Ooh.
So our producer, who I love because I never do anything that he tells me to do, but I love him. I just want to say that out loud because I am kind of loud too, and he tells me that too. But anyway, the first question. We are ready. Hit it.
Good evening. My name is Bernard Gill, and I live outside of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And I am Alma's volunteer virtual reader for the day. The question reads, Dear Alma, I married my high school sweetheart and joined the Army. We are both 18 and come from single-parent homes. I love it, and I love our new life. I'm happy my mom doesn't have to worry about me anymore, and I can take care of myself. My wife misses her family, and that's all she talks about. Her mom and her sisters are always telling her she should come back home. When we talk, she says she feels alone, and she doesn't know anybody where we live. I want our marriage to work, and I want my wife to see the future that we can have. I don't want her to feel like she has to choose between me and her family. How can I get her to realize this is our best chance at a new life with unlimited opportunities?
Look at that. Look at that. Did y'all see my handsome nephew right there?
Whoa, that's my
Yes.
brother.
That's your brother. Yes,
Looking good,
yes,
bro. Looking good.
yes. He does. And you know what? I want to say this because every time I call Bernard, I say 2 things. Hey, Bernard, how you doing? He goes, hey, Auntie. I go, can you do me a favor? Like, it's just so sad and pathetic. I told him, I'm going to start calling you in between. Because you know that person who always call you to ask you a favor? That's me and him. Like, I feel so bad. But I am, honestly, Bernard, I'm going to call you and just call
Just
you
to say
without
hi.
asking you for a favor. Right. Just to say, hey.
There you go.
So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. The recap of the question, ladies. Here we go. Dear Alma, evidently this young man married his high school sweetheart. They are young. He joined the Army. They are stationed at his home base. He is doing well. She, on the other hand, is missing her family. So everybody knows, like, if one person is having a career in the military, usually the wife or the spouse. They have to find stuff to do. So bottom line is she's missing everybody because she's by herself. She's all alone. She doesn't know anybody, and she is having a tough time. So I didn't necessarily want to, and he didn't ask like if it was right or wrong. He was basically asking, what can I do to help my wife take advantage of this opportunity that we have? We're young, we live on our own, we don't have to ask our mothers, who are both single parents, for anything. So how can I get her to see that this is a good thing for us and we can make something out of it and make a better life? So Dee Dee, let's start with you. What do you think?
Okay, well, I've lived away from my family for most of my adult life. And we just visit. I mean, I don't know where their parents are, but military is military. You can't do anything about that. So if he has to be stationed somewhere, he has to be stationed there. I just said that he can find ways for her to visit her family, or vice versa. They find, of course, in this time in the pandemic, that's a challenge. But we have all this technology now where we can talk to each other. I think once she gets to visit and spend time with her family, then those moments when they're away won't feel so bad, and maybe then she could find something that entertains her in that space.
Yeah, because I think visiting is fine, but basically, I don't know. I'm in a different headspace. Like, you were with him for 18 years. Find something else to do, girl. It's a lot of stuff going on the base. And maybe I feel that way because I am married to a guy who was in the military, although he wasn't in when I married him. He was already retired. So that's like I get the benefits, but I ain't had to move away from my family. I'm sorry. That was wrong. I wasn't trying to make fun of your wife. I was just saying. But I think sometimes you have to move out of what you know and try to find out some new things in some new places and start new activities for your family.
Don't they have family support systems? I mean, I don't know much about the military, but isn't there somebody on base that should have greeted her with an apple pie and said, "Come on, girl, let's go do something"?
Well, I don't know if I know that there are places that she can go to. That's right, and that her husband is her family, and that it has to change that mindset that my family. No, your husband is your family, but they do have welcome teas. Again, with COVID, I don't know if they're still doing that sort of thing. But yeah, there are many different ways and different places that you can go meet people on the base, at the gym, at the park, at the daycare. Shika, what do you think?
That's a good one. I think I agree with both you and Dee. One is just finding out, like I said, just different things to do, different activities that different, some hobbies. I do agree on visiting at the same time, but I can only imagine it's hard. I was a military brat. We moved all over the place, and it's very challenging. Yeah, to meet new people and new friends, and everybody's kind of clicked up. That's probably a separate story, but it's just really kind of just getting out there and finding some new things to do.
Yeah.
But Sharon says that she has some experience with this. She has that there are family care centers and morale teams on basis to help you, I guess, acclimate yourself to being in that space.
And you have to find those things.
Right.
Like, they're not going to be post-it note on your door. You got to pick up that little free flyer. Yeah, pick up that little free flyer at the commissary. And even if she's not, maybe her husband can bring those things home and leave them on the table. Like, I wouldn't shove them in her face, but you can leave things around the table that you want your spouse to look at, or you can cut it out and tape it on the bathroom window, on the bathroom mirror too. You're trying to get your point across. Latonya, what do you think?
We can't hear. Can you hear her?
No.
I can't hear her. And there's a kickback on mine too.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There we go. Okay. All right. So basically, I think with that, they as right now, just use the video calling, video chat, using the centers that are around. Definitely volunteer. And what you all said, go visit your family, put a budget aside if you could buy them a ticket here and there for them to come visit. send some little fun
Right.
care packages or something like that, just to have a little bit of home and excitement to look forward to something. My friends and I, we use a group chat called Marco Polo, so we can kind of be like in the midst of a conversation in real time versus it being like on FaceTime.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's
Really?
pretty
Marco
fun.
Polo?
Marco Polo is an app, and we just go back and forth, go on a conversation. You can go back to the, I call it tiles, but it's I forget what it's called. But you can go back on the video, previous video, and just listen to your family, smile, talk, and just keep in touch
Really?
that way.
Oh, I like
Hmm.
that. Marco Polo. I like that. I have to
Marco
look that
Polo.
up.
It sounds like here that because they were high school sweethearts, so it was always just them. But then they had their family, and then they moved away. And she's what,
Hey,
18? I think they
Tracy.
said she's
Yeah,
18 years
young.
old. So
Hmm.
so learning how to do all that is, it's very, I'm sure, very new for her.
Yeah.
So but there are plenty of people her age who are on base, and if she finds
Hmm.
those people, he may be looking for her after a while because she would have found something that that excites her. But yeah, I mean,
Right,
she
right.
has to look for that because
Yeah.
he
Oh,
has to work, so he's not going to be there entertaining her.
Cousin
No,
Bernard said he
no.
should have been on this one. I got words. Okay, cousin.
Type them in. Type them in.
Hey,
Or you can talk into your phone like your
cousin.
uncle does.
Right.
That is very, very true. The other thing too, that I was thinking about that you don't always think about when you are 18, self-care. Join the gym.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Find something else that you really, really like, and figure out where you can connect with that. Because I
Mhm.
think the earlier you can figure out what you like,
Hmm.
your days ahead will
You're
be
right.
much easier. Because when
And the
you're trying
crazy thing
to
about it,
go ahead, Shika.
oh, I was gonna say the crazy thing about it is sometimes we wait so long to still figure. I mean, I'm pushing 40 and I'm still trying to figure myself out. So,
Yes,
it's
yes,
just even with that. I mean, she seems like she's still young, but yeah, definitely, like you said, it's figuring out and some self care.
exactly. As something
Absolutely.
I read today, it said, I'm grateful that life lets you try again. No, or lets you, gives you a redo. You know how the
Okay.
memes
Right.
come across
Yeah.
social media.
Mm-hmm.
And I commented, I was like, a redo, multiple
Very
redos.
does.
And you know what? I think I received that differently at this stage in my
Oh,
life, because I think when
absolutely.
I was younger, the age that you guys are, I really thought that I was supposed to have it all figured out, all laid out,
Mm,
all mapped out. And it was
hmm.
supposed to, be in these squares every month,
Mhm.
every year, but
Mhm.
life doesn't do that. I
Mm-mm.
mean,
No.
Yeah.
you
Paths
learn.
change all the time.
Absolutely. The longer you
Mhm.
live, you realize you really are not in control. You
Right.
Mhm.
can figure out what to do about your situations, but you are in no way in control of your situations. And what breaks my heart is a young person who has something happen to them, even a heartbreak, and then they shut it down.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
like, girl, go back out there, like kiss him, kiss him, kiss him too.
Yep. Kiss them
Well,
all.
today, Alma,
So
I was reminded that 7 years ago I moved back. Hi, Suzette. I 7 years ago today I moved back to Florida after like a whirlwind financial and emotional tour of duty. And I realized looking at that picture today, thinking, and I thought then that I was starting over again and I was never going to get that fixed. And here I am now, 7 years
Mm,
later, making it
absolutely.
work. Right. So,
mm,
the
Absolutely.
opportunity to do that is the best part
Yes.
of life is you can say,
Yes.
okay, that didn't work. So now
Exactly.
I'm going to do something else.
Yeah, and find like
Absolutely.
something else that you want to do, because I
Right.
think a heartbreak or something that shuts you down, whatever it might be, it does give you a minute to rethink things. Because I don't know about you guys, but I have always made decisions based on other people. I just
Mhm.
have.
mm,
The
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
relationships that I was in, my family, like it was always, um, the decision was made based on what was happening around me. And knocking on 60's door, I gotta tell y'all, I can, oh,
Shh.
Suck that back in. We ain't giving ages. but
I'm like, what? She said that out loud?
Right? Why did I say that out loud? Waiting on
You look
somebody to say,
fabulous.
I'm 60. That's why
You can shoot it from the rooftops because you'll say that. People will go, really?
No, are you really?
Girl.
But the thing is, like, once you figure out that you can make some choices on your own and really see who is coming along with you on the ride, because if they aren't, they don't really want to ride with you anyway. And so you're basically pulling them along because you're doing what they want to do. But every once in a while, you got to throw your own thing in there and see what happens and be willing to lose.
And at this opportunity, this young lady has the opportunity to do that now.
Absolutely.
Like at 18, she is in a new place with a new life, and this is her opportunity to start doing that now. So let's hope that she takes this opportunity to, find something that means something to her.
That's right. That's right. Hey, Leah, you should have been on the niece's show. Hey,
Leah.
Too. Leah had her girlfriends on here, so y'all, open invitation to come back with your girlfriends. We got time. Every Tuesday at 7:00. So that was fantastic, Dee. Those are good answers, Sheikah and LaTanya, for that young woman. And we wish her and her husband well, because they have started out at 18. Y'all do the doggone thing. Y'all can do the doggone thing. Absolutely. So, all righty. Are we ready for question number 2?
Well, we have Mary Lou shouting out that she's 60 and sexy and fabulous. So we need to read that out loud for her.
I know.
That's what I'm talking about, Mary Lou.
Mary Lou, upload a picture, girl. I know you. I hang out with Mary Lou sometimes, and when I do, I don't eat. Maybe a salad. Because she
living her best life.
I know that's right.
Yes, she is. It's fantastic. Once you learn, you really you cannot go back from that. Once you figure it out, at whatever point that you figure it out, there's no turning back. It's absolutely no turning back. So, okay, ladies, this was fun. See, we got through question number 1. Question number 2. Let's have some fun. Let's see, question number 2.
Hello, viewers. My name is
my husband.
Michigan, and I am asked Alma Video of the Week. I have a question that I wrote out due to being kind of lengthy, if you don't mind. Hey, Alma. My wife cannot let things go. She holds grudges for way longer than the offenses were. She brings up things that happened months, even years ago, to remind me of what she says are my faults. It's not just me. She gives her sister grief for dropping her when she was 1 and her sister was 3. Aside from pointing out that she is being crazy when she gets going on some old resentment or new rant, do you have any suggestions on how I can make her stop? It's wearing me down, and I find myself distancing myself from our marriage. I'm tired of always hearing what I did, what I'm doing wrong. Please help. Thank you.
Y'all see how fine my husband is?
I said he looks familiar.
Yeah, my husband. Yes, I am, auntie.
I have a question about this question. Did he say to his wife responded to a grudge that happened when she was 1 and her sister was 3? Okay, we can't hear you. You muted yourself.
Yeah.
I muted my okay. This question recap, there's a husband who wrote in about his wife that she holds grudges about everything. He said it's so bad she still holds a grudge against the sister who dropped her when she was 1 and the sister was 3. She holds grudges for everything.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And he said she brings it back up. Everything that happens, she brings it back up, just brings it back up. And that, you can deal with it a little bit, but over time, it's just too much. And so he said that, that is getting old and it's wearing down on him and his commitment to the marriage. So he wanted to know what were some ideas of, how to get her to Angela.
Hi, Angela. I am so sorry I'm late, ladies.
That's okay.
Welcome.
Raise
That's
this
okay.
up.
You know, when you're working hard, you got to work hard. That's all it is to
Ooh, and I
it.
was working hard. Jesus.
And Angela is joining us from Seattle. So there is that time difference too. That on this side of town, on the East Coast, we all off from work, me and Dee Dee. But
Yes.
the rest of the ladies,
Been off.
Latanya, we are in the same time zone as you. But Sheikah and Angela are coming on here early for us, and I appreciate that so
No problem at
much.
all.
You're
So
welcome.
Angela,
Welcome.
do we? I think we can replay, or you want to hear the recap of the question?
Go ahead and give me the recap. Is this number 2
Okay.
or number 1? How far?
This is number 2. We're on number 2. So basically, the wife holds a grudge all the time, doesn't let anything go. Anytime something happens, she repeats it. Remember when you did this 3 years ago? Okay, girl, stop. So he is saying that at this point, look at Galvin. Then my baby go,
Hey, cuz I saw your message earlier.
Galvin!
Hey, Galvin.
At this point, he says that he's almost at a place where he just doesn't even want to deal with it anymore. Like he wants to figure out a way that he can talk to her, that she understands this, because at this point he just cannot go on with her continuing to bring up everything that he's ever done wrong, because at some point you need to forgive somebody and move on. So we want to give him some advice on how he can talk to his wife. Maybe, I don't know, because I'm not sure how you guys are receiving this question. So I'm going to go to Latanya first and say, Latanya, what you think?
Being I'm a person, I don't hold grudges. So I just always try to look at the bright side of things. I'm more of a positive optimist person. So I would definitely try to give her some encouraging words and just let her know, like, hey, so name one thing that's positive about your sister. Name just something positive and move from there, just as a step. Because
but there's a consensus.
And Latanya, that was a really cute guy that read that question.
He was fine. That's my husband, Angela, that read the question.
Angela, you missed it.
Galvin, you see.
You know she's always plotting.
Galvin got pressure.
Yes, indeed.
You know, there's a consensus in the chat that this woman needs therapy and has a chemical imbalance.
Yeah. Because Angela, you missed this part. He says that she is still holding a grudge against her sister who dropped her when she was 1 and the sister was 3. So yeah, there's maybe some. I don't remember
nothing I know 1 and
3. Yeah.
So that's your mama right there.
That was something that was told to her. She doesn't remember that. That was something that was told to her. I question, this isn't new for him. And when he met her, she held grudges, and I'm sure there was a grudge that he knew about. He knew about this 1 and 3 well before he married her. Yeah. And married her anyway. So
and he thought it was cute.
Right. Married her anyway. So
right.
I don't know. Suck it up. I mean, what do you do? I mean, you knew.
Suck it up, Buttercup?
You knew who she was. I mean,
what do you think?
Is there anyone on this panel who would date someone, was dating someone who told you about a grudge they had when they were 3, and you didn't think, oh, that might be a red flag?
Well, if he's cute, maybe he thought,
she would outgrow it.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay.
Because it doesn't sound from the
Angela.
recap, it doesn't sound like it's necessarily just him or just a problem in their marriage. This is it's something for her that she needs to work through.
Right.
And so my advice isn't necessarily for him. It's kind of more for her, because holding those grudges is going to hold up inside of you. She might be messed around, have some fibroids and some cysts and some some things start to develop because she's holding on to that. You gotta let that stuff go. But for the spouse, I'm with Latanya that, maybe he can try to find a way to help her work through it, but it definitely sounds like it could be something where you need that next level of help.
Right.
Professionally.
Yeah.
And if she's been holding on to it for such a long time, and I don't blame him for being frustrated.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't want to do anything. Why would we, as the wives, want to continue to frustrate our spouses? That's not going to bring any type of cohesiveness within the
Right.
relationship
Peace at
and in the
home.
home. Right.
Mhm.
Me and Chica, we about that peace in the home. We
That's right.
gotta have that strife.
Well, the meme says there's something. It sounds like something else happened to her in her childhood, perhaps. That this is just a continuation of that, whatever that
Back to
And
the
was.
maybe
professional
it's
help.
a part of her personality, because we all, you know, there are some personality traits that just grow with you. So maybe her holding a grudge with everything is what she does across the board, at home, at work, with her girlfriends, because usually, you know, your girlfriends know. And sometimes your girlfriends will say stuff to you. Like mine do. I don't think I'm the only one who have those kind of girlfriends. Like Dee would say to me, "Why you keep bringing stuff up that happened a long time ago?" So
Right.
I would have to check myself, because of course,
Unless
first
I agreed. So in that case,
right, then it's fine. But sometimes, like, you say something to somebody and they don't realize that they're doing it. Although maybe she doesn't realize the extent of what she's doing. What do you think, Sheikah?
Ooh, good one. First, I do want to say I do agree with Latanya that I don't hold grudges. I mean, there's just time. I mean, what can you do? You cry over spilled milk. However, this individual probably has some other things going on, and so this is her only way to, like, what's the term I'm looking for? Like, just let it all out. I'm looking for another term, but I can't think of it right now. And so I think that if she knew, because I don't know how the husband, like, responds to her when she is, like, holding the grudges or when they have these conversations, but if she truly knew, like, hey, this is what's going on and this is making my husband feel a certain way, then maybe I need to correct it. But some people don't change when we're pressured to change. It's like, okay, hey, I realize she has to do her own self-inventory. And if she doesn't recognize it, it's hard. And so once she's able to recognize a problem, then she can fix it. So if she doesn't feel she has a problem, it's going to be very hard for her to fix. So I think the only thing, in my opinion, is maybe for the spouse to have a sit down and say, hey, babe, this is what, I love you. I love, A, B, C, D. But hey, this is something that's very challenging for me, and this is something I think that we should work on, and go from there. Or, like Angela said, take that next step, that professional.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Sheikah, it sounds like Gail agrees with you. She says it sounds like there might be some misplaced anger. So there's something else. I think Angela said the same thing, or something similar, that there's something else going on and it's manifesting this way.
Right.
Or that might be what she saw growing up. That instead of having somebody communicate something
resolving
to you,
issues, right,
you just sort of pick what they did wrong and just keep repeating it. Because I think over time, Esther, we did a shout out to you. That's another niche, y'all. I'm sorry. We did a shout out to Esther because we missed her today. But I do think sometimes we do what we see.
Absolutely.
Because I'm going to tell y'all the truth. And I know my family is watching this too. I have to practice not to be Carl. That's all I'm saying. My mother, oh my goodness, she had a strong personality. She told you what she thought. Sometimes it was in a way that was kind enough for you to receive it. But 80% of the time, it was straight up 6 words, deal with it. This is what I'm telling you. So that, I always thought that I was more thoughtful and, took time to process something. And then Josh brought it to my attention. And I didn't even know I was doing it. Then I was jacked up because, like, when your child comes to you quasi-adult and can, like, pull sentences together and tell you about yourself, y'all wait for that. That's coming in the teen years. And then I was like, wait a minute, who are you talking to? I don't do that. And he was like, yes, you do. I said, no, I don't. And then this little man had the audacity to come up with examples.
I wonder who taught him that.
I wonder who taught him that.
Exactly.
And
And she has a granddaughter who just told her she cannot live in her house.
Exactly.
Yes, she's the same way. She's the same way. And I think too, that is something. Hey, Diane. I'm sorry, y'all. That's Diane. How you doing? COVID hugs, girl. COVID hugs. Sometimes I think we can do things and not even realize what we're doing to somebody and how it affects them.
Yeah,
Right.
You know?
exactly.
Well, Diane says that she may be holding people hostage with her feelings.
Whoa, girl. See, I told y'all that was my friend Diane. See, you done took it to another level there, Diane. I got to find a book and a dictionary. What? We got to break that down a little bit. That's true. That's true. Because it definitely, in my opinion, is a personality trait. Like, it's not just something that she does to him. It sounds like she does it to everybody in the family. And she gets away with it. Because he's the one saying, hey, I need to do something about this. But she got other people in the family. Ain't nobody said nothing yet.
Holding her accountable.
Right.
Exactly. Like, what is that?
What did your brother say, Sheikah? What did your brother say?
My brother said their resentment in the pot and it gets stirred up every time she brings up old stuff, concocting a recipe for disaster.
Right.
You know what?
Okay.
We on the show next week, Bernard. You on the show next week. We
Okay. Next week. Okay.
we not waiting until the summertime. You will be on the show next week.
Next week.
Him, Jamor, and Galvin. That'll be a good show too.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, it does sound like she is holding resentment, and sometimes too, I wonder why. Instead of bringing up specifically what you want to talk about, you bring up the action. Like she should learn how to say, this is what is bothering me, and this is what I want us to deal with. Not like you always doing blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
And it's hard sometimes. Like I struggle with that now, you know, and I've been married for
count
10 years now. I know. Together for like almost 18, but married for 15. And I still struggle with that, you know, just being able, I mean, communication is key. They said it, believe it, you know.
Right.
But sometimes it's hard. Well, it's hard for me.
It is. It's hard for me too. And that's what I was saying. Like, I have to jack myself up, which I do. I think I do. I don't know. Y'all can ask Gill, and he might say she ain't jacking up nothing. I like to think that I'm jacking myself up from time to time and trying to right some wrongs, and maybe, well, especially through COVID, because it seems to me the lockdown for the married couples,
it was a test.
It's a challenge.
Definitely
It could be a mirror,
challenge
it could be
for
a flashlight, however you want to.
Well, you know, one of the things
all the
that they
time.
say, one of the things they say about a successful marriage is being able to fight fair. And clearly she doesn't have that skill. And the only way that she can communicate with him is to, you know, rehash things that could be, she may not even really want to communicate him with. She knows that if she says something that he doesn't like or brings something up, he's gone. So they don't even have to have the conversation.
Right.
So it may be for her, it just may be her way to trigger him, because sometimes negative attention is better than no attention.
No attention.
Girl, say that again for the people in the
Come on,
That's my friend Dee.
Hallelujah.
This is so good, ladies. So good. Hi, Javon. Annette, thank you so much for your comments. And Bernard, I just cannot get enough of you. I think we're all giving him the same advice. It's not even about that, my brother. You got some other stuff going on. If you want to email me back, we can peel through this a little bit and come up with the question that we need to come up with, because trust me, all the wives and the women on the panel are saying, she ain't mad at you. It's some other stuff happening. Okay. There you go. So let's see. Angela's here. We're so happy.
Hey,
And
y'all,
it's
we might have a quick cameo.
cameo.
Come on, real quick.
Is that
Who's
Tavai?
that?
Hello.
Oh,
Hey,
hi,
we doing the
Tavai.
kids.
Tanya,
Handsome guy.
Jessica,
We
Auntie
doing the
Alma,
kids at
and
the
Auntie Alma's
end.
best friend D.
David.
Okay.
Last time I seen him, he was a baby.
Yes. All right.
So
So
we'll
Angela,
see
is
you.
Angela, is that your only
Shut the door,
child?
please. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And that might be a conversation for another
One
day.
more.
Yeah, listen.
One more.
Some of you
For all
guys,
the onlys out there, for all the onlys, and for all the moms of the
I hope we
onlys.
can see some of the little ones before we wrap up today. That would be fantastic. Question number 3. Y'all ready?
Ready.
All righty. Let's see video number
Good morning,
3.
evening,
He
night,
did make it.
whatever it is for you and your time zone. I am Galvin Malloy. I'm from Tacoma, Washington, 30 miles south of Seattle, Washington. For those who didn't know, you better recognize. Yes, I am the question reader of the week, and I'm excited about it. Love you, Auntie. All right, here we go. Hey, so I need you guys to listen up because we have a doozy, okay? We have a doozy. Okay, dear Alma, my wife and I have been married a little over 8 months. We met a year ago, but we knew it was love instantly. We all love instant love, right? When we married, her 16-year-old son lived with his father full time. He recently moved in with us, and initially I didn't have a problem with it. But his actions towards his mother are shocking and unacceptable. He will cuss, lash out, and even punch her. When I have come in between them, she tells me to stay out of it. He is not mentally unstable or suffering from any kind of mental state. He's just violent, aggressive, and abusive towards his mother. What can I do? He cannot stay at my house and fight my wife. I know I'm supposed to accept her son, but I cannot watch him beat her up. My wife says he has nowhere else to go, and if I love him, if I love her, I'll let him stay. Help. What can I do? I told y'all it was heavy, right? I told y'all we had a doozy, right? Yeah. This is a deep one. So, Alma and crew, I'm praying for you. That y'all give some good advice, because this is heavy. All right. Peace. Love you.
Now, who's he belong
now.
to?
He belongs. That's my
That's
nephew.
Angela. Okay.
He belongs to Angela.
That's this one.
Yes.
Ooh.
So we have
Obviously,
had
he was being sneaky. Y'all heard how we was talking so
all of them were whispering, except for Bernard. And the only reason I didn't get Sheikah's husband was because the email that I had wasn't working. So I had to move over to her brother because I didn't want y'all to know that the husbands were going to be a part of the program, which turned out really well. Thank you to all of my nephews who did fantastic jobs. And I'm telling you, I called them, I asked them, they videotaped, they sent it back like in no time flat. It really was really fantastic, and I appreciate them so much. Galvin, who is Angela's handsome husband, he
Yes,
did
he is.
question number 3 for us, which is a doozy. Bottom line, and the recap is love you, Galvin, too. Is y'all should see how he sing happy birthday to me and then take pictures of me when I go there. But anyway, I'm off track. So this guy married this woman. They didn't know each other long. They've only known each other 8 months, and they got married after.
They've been married 8. They've known each other a year.
Right, known each other a year. And so the teen son didn't live with them, but he does now, and he punches the mother. He told me in the email, because I asked, that he initially saw it on the phone. when he was video chatting with the mother for different things and would say, did he just hit you? And she was saying, no, like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And now with, COVID and everybody's locked in, he saw the son physically hit the mother and is saying, like, you ain't gonna hit my wife, son or no son, you're not gonna hit my wife. But the mom is saying, oh, no, leave him alone, it's fine, it'll be fine. So what do y'all think he can do?
What happened to the father? What
I don't know.
Why did he leave?
Yeah.
Why does he not live with the father anymore? I don't know. I don't know.
That's a tough one. That's a really tough one, because at the end of the day, if that continues, it's going to cause problems in their marriage.
It's going to destroy their marriage.
It's going to destroy. Yes, it's going to destroy
Absolutely.
it. She's going to want to have the sons back, but you're going to have to choose between your son and your new husband, and that's going to be challenging. I don't know. When you have these questions and you have these stories, it helps to have a little bit more background.
It does, yes.
Because I'm like, that's just not really sitting right. But that abuse, I don't care, son, sister, whatever, whoever, that's not gonna work, and I just think it's gonna cause problems. I really don't have the advice to that, but I know it's gonna cause issues.
Well, blending families is complicated. I mean, blending families is complicated.
Oh yeah,
in perfect circumstances, right? But I don't think the violence can be ignored. I mean, they point out that he's not mentally, he doesn't have mental problems. He's just violent, and he's not just.
Then how do we know? And how do we know he doesn't really have mental problems? Did they do extensive mental tests? You never know what's going on in people's brain, or whatever. So.
And it made me wonder, is that why he's not with his father? Did the father say, you got to go, I'm not having this? And did the mother say, because we do, oh, wait, I'm going to try to love it out of him.
Or I have a man now, so I have a male figure in my house now, so he can come home.
So I'm not afraid.
But he doesn't want to allow the man to be the man and handle this situation. He'd be locked up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I would call the police.
Yeah. Or have him committed. Like I'm nervous about calling the police now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm the mother of a boy. I got a second guess before. I think calling the police for me would be plan C. Okay. Plan A would be like Demeen said, not to call the police thing Demeen said, but earlier Demeen said he need a good butt whooping. And I'm all against fighting, but if you punch your mama, I'm gonna punch you in the throat. Like, you ain't gonna punch your mama. I ain't gonna have
He's gonna call the police, and the parents gonna be in jail.
Exactly. That's right.
Tracy says, not I hit back harder.
Girl, it's an Arrington thing. It's an Arrington. You punch me, I'm gonna punch you back first. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna hit you if I think you get ready to hit me. And then when you say, what is your problem? I'm gonna ask you, were you getting ready to hit me? Because
demoralizing is it for her husband, for her to tell him he can't be the responsible male in the house. What does that do to him? I mean, you can't correct this awful situation in our home, because he says he can't live with me and beat on my wife, and she's saying, oh no, it's okay.
I think a lot of women do that, D.
Well, in Florida, they had this thing called the Baker Act. So you could just make him a little phone call, and he'd have a room at the inn until he figured out how to keep his hands to himself. So maybe he's the one that needs the therapy and quickly. And then the son needs therapy, and then the mother needs to go with him.
Absolutely.
And I think he should tell the mother straight up, like, okay, it is, we get help for him and he goes, or you go. Because clearly we're not married. We're not married if I have no say so in what's happening with your son that's happening right in front of me in my house, where he's abusing you and it's okay with you. I'm not okay with that.
No.
I wouldn't be okay with anybody that I'm in a relationship who would be okay with abuse in any way.
No, they need to put a stop to that.
Yeah, not only No, absolutely not. I mean, the wife needs therapy, and the son does too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Both of
Diane
them.
says perhaps the son saw this behavior towards his mother,
Definitely
maybe
possible.
from his biological father, and that's why
what
he
I was
thinks it's
thinking,
okay.
girl. That's what I was thinking too. That's
Definitely
why
possible.
she needs to nip it. Because you know
Yeah.
what? I'm thinking that too, Diane, because why does she think it's okay? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
she's saying
allowing it
it's
to
okay.
continue.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's okay. No, it's not
Mm-hmm.
okay. It's never
Mm-mm.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, she needs to not think that she can love this away as
Absolutely.
much as we want to with our boys. All of
Because
us. Go ahead, Angela.
regardless of if she was in this new marriage or not, is this something that the son was doing with her before? Is it something he's going to continue doing with her, whether there's a husband in the house or
Mm-hmm.
not? And it's a behavior that he'll probably then display with girlfriends if he hasn't already. So, I mean, from a mother standpoint, you definitely, I would think you'd want to just nip it to save him going forward. This cannot continue. You need to know that this behavior is unacceptable in
Acceptable.
any shape, form, or fashion. And I feel, for the new husband, I could see why he would feel like his hands are tied, trying to now correct behavior of a 16-year-old
Yeah.
who just has only been in there, a short period of time. But since he's the one recognizing this and he's the one speaking up and speaking out about it, I think it is time for him to take some action now.
Yeah.
What
He
that
needs to,
looks like.
he needs to sit him down. Like, I'm not about to let you hit my wife. So if you don't correct
Right.
this, it's gonna be some consequences.
Right.
Right.
Period.
If you punch her, I'm gonna punch you.
There you
I don't know
go.
if that's ever been the answer for you, but up in here, if you throw a punch, you gonna get a punch,
Yeah.
and we can take it from there. Because
Mhm.
you know what I just realized, all of us have a male
Mhm.
in the household,
Right.
young, old, there is a male in the house. And so we have to, as women, and you know what, those of you women who disagree with me, comment, because I'm going to explain it to you if I need to one-on-one. You have to let a male deal with a male
Yes.
sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah, because this whole buy your mother a Father's Day card, buy your mama a Mother's Day card, because it's some father things that need to be dealt with a father or with your brother or uncle or some man in the family. Because a woman can't, always. What just came to mind for me is I can remember grabbing a piece of the vacuum cleaner. I don't know if my nephew Corey is watching, but he did something one time when he was living with me. And before my head stopped spinning around in a circle, I had grabbed a piece of that vacuum cleaner and had him up against the wall. Like, oh, it's going down unless you get yourself together. But then I still had to step back and call his father. I mean, yeah, that was me basically threatening him with, a piece of the vacuum cleaner. But I mean, he could have gave me a run for my money if he wanted
And
to.
where's the united front, though? He mentioned,
Yes.
the wife doesn't want him to talk to the son. But like you said, Alma, where you all are in a marriage now. So
Right.
are you
Right.
operating as a union? Let's address this issue together. We're coming to you as the married couple, grown-ups in this house, husband and wife,
Right.
and now the parents in this house. Even though even though he's not technically the father, he's the father in that household.
That's
Come
right.
together
Right.
as a united front and talk to that son so that he can't then play sides. And
Exactly.
but
They
I don't know
will.
if the wife is going to be on board with that. Of what, here's what we are saying are the
Right.
expectations in the house. You
And
either
that-
get with them, or we got to have some consequences.
And that should extend to the other parent as well. I mean, if those are the circumstances, my ex-husband will still check my son. If he thinks he is disrespectful to me, or like he overheard us having a conversation that he misunderstood, my son's an adult, and he's still like, come here. And I was like, no, it's okay. We're having a conversation. It's okay. But he has always been that even outside of the home. And perhaps this father, we don't know what his role was or is.
Right.
Or he may have said, oh, your mother wants you to come home. She has a husband now. It may be a good place for you, and let him go, not understanding that these kinds of things were happening. I don't think we should assume that he learned that behavior from his dad.
Right. It might not have been
Right. It may
negative
not have
in
been that,
situation.
He learned it from somebody.
but the biological father needs to be a part of this solution as well, I think.
Yeah. Hey, ladies, the hour is up.
Wow,
Y'all
that was
did
fast.
That went by fast.
It goes by so fast. Panel, thank you. You know I love y'all
You're
so much. I'm
welcome.
so
Thank
proud
you.
of
Thank you for
each and
having us.
every one of
Love
you.
you.
Have grown up to be beautiful, outstanding,
Thank
absolutely fantastic women that I am just so over the moon in love with, so proud of. Thank you for helping your auntie out this week. It really meant the world to me. I want to thank the husbands and Bernard, your brother, for reading those questions and being the VVRs of the week. That was fantastic. They were so great. I got some more work for them to do. I either need them on the show or to read another question. Thank you, everybody who joined us and commented tonight. I love to see you guys every week. I mean, this COVID has us locked down, and even when we can come out, I hope we can still communicate like this, because it's fantastic and it absolutely fills me and keeps me going through the week. So thank you, everybody. Love y'all. Pieces.
Love you
See
all.
you next
Love you.
Tuesday.
See you on
Bye.
Tuesday.
Don't hang up,
Bye,
ladies.
guys.
Don't hang
Thank
up.
Do we
you.
have an after show?
We do.
Oh, all right then.